It's 4:26. They got in this morning. I just need to make sure to prepare for orientation tomorrow. What do we already do? Stock inventory. You made it. The missing checkmark by your name was hovering over my conscience like a ghost. You know, we'd almost begun to believe you got lost in the woods. You didn't run into any trouble, did you? No? Well, you seem okay, other than the fresh scrape on your forehead. Are those leaves in your hair? No, fine doesn't sit right with me. You're not going to get a good night's rest with the forest still clinging to you like that. There's a difference between being connected to it and letting it tease you. I mean, don't get me wrong. The woods outside of our camp will play with you too, on a slightly more psychological level. But you wouldn't know that, would you? Our records here indicate you're a first-time camper. Welcome to Whispering Pines. I'm Imogene. No, I'm not the headmistress. I'm just a counselor. Well, how would I know if you'd be lucky enough to meet her? I only just met you. Well, I guess if you're clever and more observant than the rest, you might get to meet her. Well, I'm surprised you've heard that story. You've heard a fair amount of stories about our camp, haven't you? Well, what a treat for us that you still chose to come. I can sense you're weary from your travels here, but we just have a few things to cover before I can let you get your rest. Since you were the last to arrive, all of the shared cabins on the north end of our campus have been claimed. So, you'll be staying in the one-bedroom Birch Hollow cabin on the southern end of the grounds. No, it's not too much more remote than the others. You just follow the creek down south, you cross a bridge, and it's just nestled into the corner of the woods. I'd say it's about a 10-minute walk from the other cabins. That won't be a problem, will it? Well, I would hate for you to miss out on the feeling of being blissfully alone in the middle of the woods. The sounds of the night are sublime, if not slightly unnerving. Some creatures settling down for their night's rest, others just waking up. Good. Quiet mornings to myself are my favorite too. So I'll give you that. And just a heads up for tomorrow, during orientation, you're going to receive 3 things. Listen very closely. You don't want to lose them. The first is your name tag. Keep your name tag on you at all times. In the event of you becoming separated from it, we'd like to know where you were last seen. But more than that, it's to avoid any weird awkwardness of not remembering someone's name. We don't subject you to icebreaker activities here. We find there are better ways to forge true community. Testing that sharpens friendships, breaks others that aren't meant to be, trials, shared experiences, things of the like. But not to worry, plenty of cozy moments in between, sitting by a bonfire at night, sharing stories of Whispering Pines history. Oh, I know you don't know anyone here. That's quite the point. But don't worry, you're not going to leave the same way. The second thing is your compass. Do not, and I will beg you if I have to, do not let anyone else take your compass from you. The direction it provides is for your eyes and your eyes alone, okay? Don't share anyone else's either. The last thing is a field journal to help you sort fantasy from reality. A necessary skill in anything, I might add. I would recommend at the end of every day, you take about 10 minutes to sort out what activities you did during the day, campers you talked to, counselors you talked to, anything that's worth remembering. You can write about our interaction too, if it's worth it. We'll provide you with some more resources during orientation tomorrow, but make sure you get all 3 of those things. Now, getting on to some questions. Is there a name you'd like to be known by other than your given name? Okay. What is your phone number? We do collect phones at the beginning of camp and don't return them until the completion of our program. We prefer our campers to feel fully present and grounded here for their benefit just as well as our own. Oh, you knew that coming in? Good. Good. What is your date of birth? Okay. Your address before arriving at camp? Do you have any allergies to food or medicine? Okay. Is there any way we can specifically accommodate you? Whether that's for a medical condition, general health preference, something else. Don't be afraid to tell us exactly how to best meet your needs here while you're at camp. Absolutely. Yeah, we can do that for sure. Are you taking any prescriptions at the moment? Okay. What are your most ideal sleeping conditions? Oh, yeah, me too. Okay. I get that for sure. Do you struggle with any insomnia, interrupted sleep, or quieting your thoughts before bed? Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely. Have you been to any of our sister satellites, the Maple Ridge Lodge or the Elderwood Inn? No? Well, I sure do hope you get the pleasure at some point. Well, an old friend of mine lives near the Elderwood. She's worked at the inn for as long as I can remember. No, it's not easy to find. Kind of like us. Do you know how to swim? Okay. Of the following skills, which are you interested in learning most about during your time here? Raise a finger for each one. And don't worry, there's no limit. Foraging, woodworking, painting, archery, plant identification, emergency first aid, storytelling, pottery, constellation reading, animal care, lost languages, cooking, herbs and medicinals, wayfinding, and wild crafting. I chose some of the same when I was a camper here. It was a long time ago. We'll try our best to incorporate those into your schedule during your time here. Have you ever spent an extended amount of time in the forest? Okay. Have you ever had any contact with a wild animal, whether it was a deer or a wolf, in which they behave differently than you expect? Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Thank you. I think that's all the questions we have right now. If we have any more, we'll let you know. Do you want any tea? I have jasmine, lemon balm, chamomile, and sleepy time. Okay. Yeah, for sure. I'll be right back. It smells amazing. That was a good choice. There you go. If you don't finish that, feel free to take it back to your cabin with you and one of us will come and get it in the morning. Okay. So, now to talk you through the daily itinerary a little bit. Though each day does shift depending on where you're at in the program, you can kind of expect a similar framework for your day-to-day. We as a staff have created a cheat sheet of sorts to help you get the hang of things, learn the ropes. But believe me, at a certain point, it's going to be second nature to you and you won't need it anymore. Okay. 8 a.m. is breakfast in the gathering center. If you'd like to wake up any earlier than that and participate in your own activities, please feel free to do so, but we only ask that you stay within the camp boundaries. Okay. Yeah. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. is your first activity or skill of the day, but only tomorrow will this be orientation. Then lunch begins at noon and lasts until about 1 p.m. We take lunch outside most days in the tables behind the woodshed, so meet us there. 1 to 3 p.m. is community time. Resources like the workshop, library, and hiking trails are available to use for you and your fellow campers. If you wish to use this as personal time, you may. But I will say, if I got a chance to do this all over again, I would take that time to scout the campus, use my field journal to make sure that I could walk anywhere with my eyes closed, and meet as many people as possible. You'll need allies while you're here. I can promise you that. 5 to 3 p.m. begins a new activity, specifically one that will require either survival skills or testing your mental fortitude, knowing how to read your compass, escaping from a trap in the woods, learning how to fish or hunt for your dinner, things of the like. Before beginning, you'll meet with the others at the edge of the redwood forest, slightly past the butcher's shed. 5 to 6 p.m. is dinner back at the gathering center, and each night at 9 p.m. we gather at a fire at the shores of Lost Lake. I can't tell you what we do during that time, but you'll find out soon enough, so don't worry. Lights out are at midnight, and certain days may hold special activities by invitation only. Okay, you're all checked in, so if you'll follow me, I'll show you to your cabin.